Evening everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to our countdown to Christmas. Now, I've been over and checked the poll out. I'm sorry I haven't answered everyone's comments yet, but obviously working. I will get to those comments, I promise, by tomorrow evening when I'm not doing a colour along with you. So, countdown to Christmas and some very exciting news, people. I was contacted by the lovely June, who works for Jane F Hankins, and because I'd done a colour along before in Jane's work, we did the little circus one. I'll put a link up in the corner to that so you can go and have a look. They've sent me this book, and what better time to have received it than Christmas. So this is A Merry Little Christmas Book by Jane F Hankins, and it's a PDF book that you can go over and get now, so you don't have to wait. There's no delivery or anything, which is perfect because I'm in the UK and I think they ship from America. But this is part of Jane's collection that has become PDF, and it is so exciting. So we'll do a quick flip through of these gorgeous pages, and I will put a link down below so that you can go across and purchase it. I've just printed this onto copy paper, and the reason I do that is I can keep the book together, and then I can print on best paper when I'm ready to colour up the page, because I like having a paper copy. So this is part of The Imaginary World by Jane F Hankins. If you haven't, if you're not aware of Jane F Hankins' work, obviously go to the link down below that I'll put and go and have a look. Her imagination is incredible, as is her artwork. Let me see if I can come in slightly without losing the page. Look at this. And on the bottom you've got a description of the page, and she has quite a sense of humour, Jane, so it's lovely to read what she put. So, the Angel of Christmas Eve, isn't she beautiful? She's just so lovely. I love it. So all sorts of colours we could do in the clouds and the sky. Absolutely beautiful. Then we get this one. Do you see what I mean about the sense of humour? So this is, if you're catching that at the bottom, these words, Ms. Santa is here. I love it. So that would open up all sorts of possibilities for her, because we may not, you know, I'm looking at her and thinking, she's not the traditional Mrs. Christmas, is she? There you go. Miss Santa is here. I love it. So we could, you know, her clothes could be purple, they could be blue, you know, and it opens up all sorts of possibilities for us for a little bit of fun. Look at those gloves, aren't they gorgeous? Absolutely beautiful. And it's in that sketchy style that we like, folks. So I love that. I mean, if you look at the tree in the background here, we can do our wash over that, and then our beautiful flicks of colour in there. And it's just so much fun. And it's very different to our usual Christmas pages, which is what I like about The Night Before Christmas as well. So it just makes it all the more special. It's not that everyday style, you know, that we're all getting a little fed up with. So I love it. Look at their cheeky little faces. So this one says, Santa's smallest helpers make sure all is perfect under the Christmas tree. Gorgeous. Then we've got the little sugar plum fairy. Oh, look at all those candies and sweets. So again, look at those clouds, could be pastel-y pinks and oranges, like what we'd call candy floss. Over in America you call cotton candy. Yeah, it would just be so much fun. They are just such brilliant, refreshing pictures. They really are. Look at this. That's a very traditional looking Father Christmas to me. And he's surrounded by his little elves, and they're loading him with toys. It says, time to load up the Christmas toys. Isn't he beautiful? He's got a lovely face. Even the moon's happy to see him. I hope you... Right, I'm going to have to zoom out slightly just so you can get everything in. Look at that. Even the moon's happy to see him. He'll be guiding him by his light, won't he? Christmas Eve. He's got his little teddies and his dollies. Beautiful. I just love how she's depicted Santa there. He's a very traditional Santa, and I love that. Oh look, there's no words on this one, but it reminds me of a school pageant or a Christmas play, and this little girl's got a starring role. Isn't she gorgeous? She really is. And then we've got a landscape one, which is nice. So we've got, this is the front cover, I do believe. Yes, this is the front cover. So you could get your inspiration from there should you need it. And we've got 3 little elves playing Christmas music, I'm assuming. Perhaps they're having their own little concert and their little jingly bells. Even this tree looks like it's leaning towards the music as a bit of fun. Come back in a bit. Oh, I've gone the wrong way. Look. Aren't they adorable? Their little faces are so cute. I love it. This one is my favourite of all. I've got some rubbing out powder there. Look at this. So this is called, out again folks, I do apologise. I want you to be able to see it all. This is called The Dancing Tree, and the minute I saw it I fell in love with it. It's just so different but so perfect for Christmas, isn't it? I just love it. Look at that face. It's just, you know, so quirky and just a different twist, but still that whimsical magicalness of Christmas has been captured, and I love it. Yeah, it's gorgeous. So this is the one I thought we would colour together. Yeah, and then I struggled. It was this one, Elf on a Shelf. I'll come in because I can get the landscape in much easier than I can the portrait. Look. So it says the elf on a shelf meets a real elf on the shelf. Look at him peeping out there. Oh. So again, that sketchy style of the Christmas garland here, which actually might look a bit intimidating, but it's not. It actually makes it so much easier. Especially if you keep it in the style at which Jane drew it in, it makes it much easier. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at her little face. Is that she's pleased or she doesn't know how to react? It's lovely, isn't it? And then we come to the last page in the book. I'll come out so you can get it all in. Is Jane's very own Christmas stocking. And here we've got our little fairy again, Christmas fairy. A little Christmas Eve magic. Look at that. So Jane, the author, the illustrator of our book, is going to wake up to a whole stocking crammed with little toys. And look at the holly at the top. Absolutely stunning. So folks, I always print my PDFs now off on just copy paper, and that's, you know, just normal, and that's actually fine to colour on. So if that's all you've got, you know, go ahead with it, because don't miss out on wonderful opportunities to colour books because you can't afford or you don't have the best quality paper, because you can still colour. So what I did was went ahead and I printed this on my cardstock that I have, which I'll show you. And I got it from Hobbycraft in the UK, so if you're in the UK, sorry about the rustling, I'm trying to keep it protected. If you're in the UK, I got this 100 pack, and it takes water beautifully. 100 pack, and it's 300 GSM. However, it goes through my printer, so which is the only one I can find at that weight that does. So it does go through my printer, and I just have a HP DeskJet, so it's nothing special, my printer. So if you are in the UK and you're looking for some paper that can handle water really well, this does. So that's what I'm using today, and it's like a linen. It's got a texture on it. So yeah, so I have printed this onto my cardstock because it lifted my spirits so much. When I downloaded it, I didn't look at the pages. I just printed it because I wanted the surprise, and I have to say I couldn't have been more pleasantly surprised. So I thought what we would do is, I've had a few requests from people that were asking how did I use the Neo colours and then colour over the top of them? So I thought we would go ahead and use our Neo colours. I've got the Caran d'Ache palette board, which is rough on this side and very smooth on that side, so that's good for like watercolour things. And I know I had a few comments saying, why do you always use Neo colours and not a watercolour? Well, I'm comfortable with the Neo colours, I know the colours well, I know how they perform, and I don't have a really decent set of watercolours that I feel perform as well. So that's why I'm using the Neo colours. I am, as you know, if you've seen the video, collecting watercolours. So I'm going to bring you into this gorgeous little lady. Isn't she beautiful? And we'll start, I think, on the Christmas tree. So I am going to take a colour that I usually use, and it's really, really good for this kind of thing. And that is, these are really difficult to see, so I hope I can get it to focus. There we go. Chromium Oxide Green. Get that gorgeous face back in focus. Okay, so I'm going to take my board, and we're going to need quite a bit, so I'm just scribbling on the board. And I do it like this because I don't like doing it directly on paper. I feel I have more control like this. And it also sharpens your Neos for you. So I'm going to put that to one side. I'm going to come out slightly just so you can see what I'm doing. Can you tell? I'm so excited. Yeah. And I'm going to take just a cheap generic water brush that I got from Amazon in a set. So it's nothing special at all, but the water flow, you can control it really well. So it's just the fine brush. And I'm just going to activate this chromium green on my palette board. That way it's dissolved. And one thing I did discover with Neos is if you don't dissolve them properly, then it's really difficult to colour over. So this works really well. Okay, so I've got that nice and dissolved. And then, where am I going to start, people? Let's start very carefully at the top here. Now, they'll always go on extremely dark, but it will dry lighter. So, I'm so excited that I have this opportunity to colour Jane's work. I've got my little rag here, so if I feel that the colour's too dark, I just wipe my brush off. And so I got the email last night, and wow, I couldn't believe what I was reading. So I'm just taking some colour off there, and then we'll let that dry. Yeah, I couldn't believe that Lucy Just Adds Colour, was given the opportunity to colour in these gorgeous images by Jane. And I know you've all been telling me, Lucy, you know, you're better than you think. But sometimes it takes, as well as all your wonderful comments, it takes things like this for you to sort of open your eyes and realise that, you know, I've got to stop being hard on myself all the time. So yes, I'm just filling this tree in with this chromium oxide. Nothing. Let's come in a little closer now you've seen how I'm doing it. Oh, I'll get the zoom right one of these days. And I've got a post-it note on the wall. So yeah, nothing special. I'm just filling in the tree spaces. I'm minding out that's tree as well, and her hair. I'm minding her hair. So I'm just getting in here. I just love it. It's, you know, it just made me smile, and I really needed that. Like I said earlier, she has a wonderful sense of humour. She really does. And it really shows in her artwork. I imagine stories, and you know, like I've said to you before when I'm colouring, that she must be such a laugh to be around. Okay, so if we just do this top section together, Otherwise this video is going to be like 5 hours long. Nobody wants that. We'll just do this top section together. You see, it's a good background tree colour, isn't it? I just think I might have coloured her hair there, but that's okay, because I'm going to go over with polychromos, because this paper loves it. Loves the polychromos. There we are. And it doesn't matter if it comes out not smooth, because it's a tree, and it wouldn't be smooth, would it? So where I've gone over her hair, I'm just going to go back in with some water on my brush and lighten that up. Try and lift it. There we go. There we go. How cool is that? I love it. I need to just finish this bit. Oh yeah, please go over and get it. You know, go and have a look. Oh, one thing that I wanted to say was that I sprayed this image. I'll show you. To stop your ink running, I sprayed it after I printed it with the Frisk pastel fixative, and I actually found that stops the printer ink running when you're using watercolour, or any water medium on it. So that's a really good fix if you don't like PDFs because your ink runs. That fixes it. As you can see, I'm not getting any black come off. So I sprayed it, let it dry, and then I came on here to chat to you all and tell you this amazing news that I'd been given this opportunity to colour for Jane. So Jane, I know you watch when someone does your videos, so I can only say thank you so much for giving us all this wonderful Christmas book. It's so refreshing. So yeah, and thanks to everybody who voted on the poll. I think it was 80% to colour in other colouring books. And I have to say I'm really relieved that you all chose that, because I was getting sick of advent calendars and they were everywhere and all over YouTube, and it was just getting me down a little bit. So yeah. Right, there. Now the good thing about Neo colours is you can reactivate them at any point. So I'm not fussed about it not being finished. We can layer colours up. But I do want to come in and look at her little face. So the usual colours that I use for white skin is, I'm just trying to find them all, I'll line them up for you, is, yeah, let me bring them up. Okay, so flesh and salmon pink. Okay, I'm just going to move my page over and then I'm going to show you. So we've only got hands and face, so we don't need too much, but I'm going to scribble the flesh down. As you can tell, I've used it quite a lot. I'm going to scribble the flesh down, and then flesh, I find in the Neos come out quite pasty, so I go over with a little bit of the salmon pink, and then like we did before, I'm going to take my brush, I have cleaned it off, and I'm going to activate that to make sure that it's all thoroughly mixed. Now this does come out quite pasty, but we're going to go over with polys when she's dry. So let's move the gorgeous little face back. She looks like she's having so much fun, doesn't she? So when you put this on, don't panic, because it, like I said, the tree, it looks so dark, but it won't be. And we can always lift colour, because they do reactivate with water. So if you feel that it has gone on too dark, we can lift it off, no problem. And that's why I like them so much. Okay, so I'm going to clean my brush off, and I'm going to lift some of that off. There. And just spread it round where I know the darker bits would be. and then we'll let that dry. Isn't that clever? This is why... Now, is she wearing gloves or is that her jumper? I think they might be gloves. Yeah. I've got a feeling they're gloves because there's a little roll at the top there. Do we think? Or do we think that's jumper? I'm trying to think what would look better. Let's try. Can always lift it off. Okay. It's one little hand. Let's do the other one. So then I can do it like that's the roll of her jumper. Or sweater. That's so cool. It's so lovely. Right, what I'm going to do, folks, in usual Lucy Just Adds Colour fashion, I'm going to go off and fill in the tree. Then I'm going to come back to you when that's done, and we'll start putting some pencil work on so you can see how I'm shading it and what colours I'm using. Alright, lovely people, see you in a second. Okay, so I've dried it with my heat gun. I normally would let it dry naturally, but obviously I want to get this video out to you so that we can enjoy colouring this gorgeous book. So I've got the greens ready, but should we do her skin? I thought if we do shade her skin and some of the tree tonight, then the next night we meet up will be, what day is it today? Tuesday. It'll be Thursday, and we can finish the picture together. So I'm going to come in, and I've got my usual polychromos that you probably know very well by now. Is, where are you? It's very difficult to get these to pick up on camera. It's, turn that light round. It's too much reflection. It's beige red. Can you? There you go. Beige red. Sorry about that. Okay. And as you can see, it's dried really quite pale. So I'm going in with this beige red, or if you've got an older set of polychromos, you'll know it as Light Flash. I'm going round her little cheek. And it just colours beautifully over those dissolved neos. So I'm going to give her a light coating of that. She's just adorable, isn't she? No. I haven't muted my computer. Mute. There we go. Round those adorable cheeks. We'll put a little bit on her lips, just to give us a coat. Fill in that bit there. Make sure she's all filled in. There we go. Right, so that's beige red or Light Flash. Then I'm going in with cinnamon. That's better. Now I've turned that light round. There you go. Cinnamon. Okay, and I'm going to start to... Jane's given us shadow here, look. So she's got some sketchy lines that we can follow. If we go round there, that'll give... That line there will give us the impression of a nice big rosy cheek. Nice big cheekbones. So where the sketchy lines are, I'm putting in the cinnamon. I'm going to do around this one. Give her a nice big cheek, because she's happy, so she's got lovely high cheekbones showing. Around her little curls. A little bit in there, look. Around this eye and her nose. Yeah, so you can go and download this and enjoy Christmas colouring with me. It'd be lovely to see your versions of it. I'd love to see that. And thank you to everybody that's sharing their pictures on Facebook and Instagram of the ones that you've coloured along with me. So we're now going to take, I want a little bit more definition. So I'm going to take, where's that lovely colour I use? Aha, Caput Mortem. That shows up a bit better, doesn't it? Caput Mortem. And I'm going to add some more depth in those shadows. And this will help. It's a gorgeous colour for the shadows on pale skin tones. And this will help us blend that beautiful rosy cheek in. So I'm not overloading it, I'm just going in the darkest areas with Caput Mortem. I love this colour. It's great on skin tones of all shades. There. Bring it round there a little bit more. Just gently. And I'm going to want a little bit round the bottom of her nose. Around here. Make sure we've defined those beautiful chubby cheeks. Gorgeous. Okay. Then I'm going to take medium flash. There you go. And I'm going to come in over the top of that beautiful Caput Mortem. And this is a very pink tone. So I'm just going to use it on around her cheeks. I might put a little bit on the top of her eyelids, because I want those cheeks to be rosy. I'm just leaving a spot in the centre. We'll blend that out in a minute. And we're going to put some on her lips. Medium flash this is. There we are. And we'll go over the Caput Mortem as well. This will just help when we blend it out in a minute. Okay. So I'm going back with cinnamon. And I'm going to go over that. Cinnamon's a beautiful colour. I know it looks awful at the moment, but we have to blend it. So this paper's got quite a texture to it. So it takes a bit of working, as do working with the polychromos. So now I'm going back in with my beige red or light flash, and I'm going to go over that. And we're going to blend that out. So what we should see is rosy cheeks. There we go. They blend in beautifully. Some nice rosy cheeks. That's probably a bit too dark. In here. Blending around the edges. And here we go. Right. Now I'm going to take ivory. Can you pick? Oh, it's really tricky on these light pencils, isn't it? Ivory. Okay, just making sure it's back in focus. And I'm going to go over those cheeks, just to tone that down a bit. Just a bit much. It's a great thing about polychromos because they layer so well. Do you know the other thing I like about PDFs? If you make a mistake, I can bin it and start again. But this will be okay. I just need to blend out that cheek with the ivory. And a little bit of highlight down her nose. There. How cute is that? That's toned down nicely. So I'm just going to take in cinnamon again and come around these lines. She's so cute. Right, now I want a nice pink that's going to look more natural. So I'm going to take, come on camera, salmon, there you go, and I'm going to put that in the darkest bits. She's coming to life. She's coming to life, people. And I'm going to take ivory and blend that in. Isn't she cute? Look at that. And then back in with the salmon. She just looking at the image makes me smile. Isn't she gorgeous? Okay. So hand. Should we do a hand together quickly? Okay. So this is beige red. Is it beige red? Yeah, beige red or light flash. And I'm going to come around her fingers, around the tips of my fingers, and around there. Extend that a little bit. Okay, then I'm going to take my cinnamon and we're going to put a little bit around the cuff of her sweater, in between her fingies, little fingers. Now if you don't want to do all the flash, you're a bit concerned about that, you could do those as gloves very easily. So I'm just adding a little bit of the cinnamon in, and I'm going to add a tiny bit of, no, I don't want medium flash, I want, where is it? What do I can't find it, people. Right, there it is. Sorry, Venetian red, because I don't want her hand to come out as rosy as her cheeks. So I'm just going on the inside of her digits, around that little mark there that indicates her palm. There we are. Then back in with cinnamon, which helps to blend those colours together without it going too orangey. And then we're going back in with our beige red or light flash. Just blend those together. There we are. That's the only trouble with this paper, is that you do tend to get the lines in it, so you have to just work that little bit harder to cover up the linen lines. But if you don't have this paper, you might have something that's much smoother and easier to work with. I just really like the results that this gives with polychromos, and this is ivory, by the way, with polychromos and neos. So I'm just blending all that out, turning any redness down and pushing those colours together. Okay, then I can go back in and deepen up any areas with the cinnamon right round her little cuff there, and then blend that out. There we are, and I want that a little bit darker there. There. It's so cute. Alright, so one hand. Let's have a look at this tree. So I have got 3 colours. We are going to work at some point on adding different colours in, more than just 3, and blending colours not staying from the same family. But for now, we are using Chrome Green Opaque, Permanent Green Olive, and May Green. And this is a beautiful combination. Now, we really don't have to do an awful lot of work because Jane has given us the shading. So if we look round here, we can highlight that bit of tree. Jane's given us shadow here, look. So I'm just filling in where the dark is with our darkest green, which is the chromium green opaque. Filling in that shadow because that's underneath that branch, like that. Fill that shadow in. Then I'm going to take the next colour, which we've got is the permanent green olive, and we'll go over that. And this gives it some nice, it brightens it up a little bit. Okay. So that blends out really well together. Let's go over the top of that. Okay, let's find another bit that we're going to have to blend all three colours in with here. If we look at this piece here. So I'm going to come down, following Jane's shading, which helps me, I know, because I'm rubbish at shading. I'm getting better, but I'm not the best at it. So we're going in with our dark colour here, and this is dark under here. This is what helps to bring your, let me just move my stuff up the way so I can get you more in centre. There we go. This is what helps to bring your colouring more to life, is the contrasts between darks and lights and shadows and highlights. Okay, so we're taking our middle colour. I'm going to go back over that because it does brighten it up nicely, and it will help us to bring it down into this colour. Just turn you slightly. Okay, and I'm bringing that down. I'm just working lightly so that I have the control that if I'm not happy, I can erase it. But it's working well at the minute. Okay. So I'm just going to bring that down, and then I'm taking our May green, which is a gorgeous bright colour, and I'm going to help blend that in, make sure any white spots of the paper have gone, and bring that, start to bring that down into the neo colour that we put down. And then we can continue that, because we don't want to lose all that neo colour that we put down. We can continue that into spaces, parts of the tree, just to add a difference, a different tone, and bring a little bit more interest. There. I'm really happy with that. That looks so cute. I hope you like it too. Okay, so I'm just going back in with my medium colour because I've got quite a lot of white paper showing through, and that's because the cardstock I'm using. But you do need to build up layers with polys. Then our medium going back in, and you can just play around until you're content with your mix. Yeah, I hope you like it. I was so excited about doing this page, I can tell you. The excitement of being contacted by the people that work for Jane and asking me to do it was just wow. There. Obviously I'll play around and fill in more of the gaps until I'm happy. You know what I'm like, it has to be done properly. Some dark in there. We can even, let me see, got to find it, we can add, shock, horror, controversial, add some black, because if I move you this way, under here is another part of the branch, just lightly, and underneath the beads, and then under here. just the bits where it's tucked in under another branch. So that will help to show, like to try and give it some depth, if that makes sense. Darkest colour. And then if you go back over that, you won't even know it's black, it just looks like the darkest of the colours that you've used. Sorry, I'm trying to keep my thumb out of the way. Does that make sense? So you get a real good contrast of the very, very darkest spots of your picture and then the rest of it. Don't go mental with it because it will begin to take over, and you just want it just to sort of show any difference, you know. What do you think, people? Let's come out and have a look. What do you think, peeps? I love it, and I can't wait to carry on. So I am going to do the tree in that fashion. So I will follow Jane's guide, and you're not going to go far wrong. Follow Jane's guide, bring your 3 colours in, and if you want to, you feel brave enough, add that tiny little bit of black in the very darkest of areas. And it should bring it to life. So folks, I'm going to leave it there tonight, otherwise we are going to be hours and hours and hours long. And for me it's now 7:30, and I haven't had any tea, and I haven't showered or anything. I just came straight home and was like, oh, I can't wait to show you this book. So thank you so much for coming along. I really hope you like it. I'm going to put all the links you need to be able to purchase this and colour along with me, because I'm sure over the Christmas period that we can do another page by request if you want in this book, because it's just so beautiful. So the next time you'll see me will be Thursday evening, and I'll have the tree done and finish her hand, and we will be ready to do the background, the baubles and the snow, and yeah, we'll be on fire. Alright, my lovely people, thank you so much for coming along with me and joining me in this colouring. So until we meet again on Thursday, take really good care of yourselves, guys. See you soon. Bye bye.